stamping friends. This is Robin with Stamp with Dr. Robin. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator in San Diego, California, where it is beautiful and sunny, although I can't really tell you what the weather's been like lately because I spent the last few days in Las Vegas visiting my brother, where it was 110 degrees, and so it is actually nice to be home where it's something in the 70s or 80s and a lot more comfortable. So glad to be back, but that meant we drove home today, and I actually got my package with my new Stampin' Up products from the July through December mini catalog, or as most of us still call it, the holiday catalog. And I got those about an hour before I left on Thursday, so I spent some time today kind of in a rush getting ready for this video because I really wanted you guys to be able to see the stuff that I got, and also to make a card with one of the products. So I'm very excited that I was able to get that all done. Rush, 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 rush. So take a deep breath. Anyway, so just to let you know what's going on right now in the Stampin' Up world. As I mentioned, if you're a demonstrator, you can order now from the July through December mini catalog. If you're not a demonstrator, please join up, join under me, join under someone, because you get 20% off everything and you get to see all this fabulous product early. But what else is going on right now is our last chance sale from our January through June. Whoops, we're here. Yep, it said my internet was a little unstable, but it looks like we're here. Other thing is going on right now is the kit sale, buy one get one half price, and they will give you half price on the most expensive one. So it's a great time to try one of our kits. You can see them if you go on stampinup.com, and you can see there's some new ones coming also, so that's kind of exciting. I'm just checking to make sure we are looking good. And then the other thing I want to tell you about, and I'll tell you about a little bit more when we get to the suite that we're using, but my upline Peggy Noe and I are going to be doing a Christmas in July retreat on July 23rd. So mark your calendars because that's only about 6 weeks away. And I'll show you in a little bit what we're going to be using for that. But in the meantime, let's get going on. This is kind of going to be a doubly fun video because we're going to be showing what I got for my from my mini catalog, as well as making a card. So I'm allowed to show you the front of the July through December mini catalog, but I'm not allowed to show you what's inside. If I can remember, I'll tell you what some of the pages are that these products are on. And then the other thing is the Celebration catalog. And again, I can show you the outside, but not what's going on the inside, because 1st of July, which is when you can order from both of these, through the end of August, is going to be another celebration. So there's products for, if you spend $50, you get one free, and then there's $100 products. And I have some of those, and I'll let you know about those when we get there. So, as most of you know, I am pretty much a paper person, and so the first thing that always catches my eye are the new papers. So I just want to show you some of these that I have that I just love, and they will all of these be in my paper share, and haven't quite finished figuring out what's going to be in my paper share, but when I do, I will let you guys know probably next week. I generally try to keep it around $40 or less because that's what my people around here tend to like, and I call it the best of, so it doesn't usually include quite everything, but Robin's favorites. So these are some foil, or no, actually they're designer series paper that go with a set that I don't quite have yet, but I just love the paper, and it's called Splendid Day. And so I'll show you all of the foiled paper. This one, some of these actually, you can feel they have a texture. They're almost like they've been embossed. Kind of a silver one. Let's See how shiny they are? Because they're all foiled on one side. This is fresh freesia. This one's in gold. This one's in copper. And it's great because you can just cut these down and then you can get 6 really gorgeous, gorgeous cards. And then the opposite sides have these more subtle designs on them. Oh, I just even noticed that these have little bees on them, some of them. A little bit more subtle designs. Oh, that's pretty. Although I don't know. Oh, I like that one. I don't know how I could not use the foiled side. All right, so next one up is called Boughs of Holly. Oh, I think I forgot to tell you what colors were in there, but I think we kind of went through them as we went. And that last one, there was Calypso Coral, Copper, Fresh Freesia, Petal Pink, Pool Party, Sahara Sand, and Soft Sea Foam was the green. Oops. So in this one, this is called Boughs of Holly and does have a stamp set and dies that go with it. Like I said, don't have everything yet, but I do have the paper. And this paper includes Cherry Cobbler, Evening Evergreen, Mossy Meadow, Old Olive, Poppy Parade, Real Red, Sahara Sand, Shaded Spruce, Soft Succulent, and Soft Suede. And we are back with poinsettias. And I believe one of the, oh no, the dies don't, but you can just cut these out and use them on a card. Whoops, upside down. Trees, that doesn't even have to be holidays. This kind of looks like one of the ones that's a returning paper. More poinsettias. Oh, that's pretty. I guess that's the shaded spruce in there with the Evening Evergreen. And then the other side of them has some more, again, subtle ones. This one looks like birch bark to me. Kind of a camo one. And again, a lot of these would be pretty, don't even have to use them for holidays. Another kind of camo looking one. So that's Boughs of Holly. Now this one is Gingham Cottage, and this one's kind of a mega paper pack. I believe it has 48 pieces in it, which it's also a lot more expensive. But it's got all these different color gingham. And I'll show you in a minute. One side has these rather large pieces, and when we get to the other side, they're kind of smaller. Okay, so that's Blushing Bride. This is Basic Gray. We had Calypso Coral already. We have Pumpkin Pie with the black. This would be great for making Halloween cards. This is Mint Macaron. More Basic Gray. Looks like somebody's curtains. This is, what's the green? Garden Green. Well, I guess one of them we have Basic Gray and Smoky Slate. Again, black and white. And we also have So Saffron in here, the yellow. And then, like I said, the other sides are kind of smaller ginghams. What's the red? Real Red. Black and looks like Basic Gray. There's the other side of your Blushing Bride. So that looks like Smoky Slate, your pumpkin, Calypso Coral maybe, Mint Macaron, black and white, Garden Green, more Pumpkin Pie. So we do have a few for using for Halloween. There is also in there another black and white and gray set that I don't have yet. And that one, oh good, we have some people. Hey, Kay's card. How are you? All right, this one, it's on page 40 when you get your catalog, because it's vellum. You can see how you can sort of see through it, and some of them are embossed in silver. They're only on one side, and the dots. And then some are white flocked. Isn't that pretty? I hope you can see that. And the dots. So that's you just saw the whole package. Most of these I've been showing you just half the package. You can see front and back, but that's the whole package with what some of these specialty ones you're not getting a whole lot in them. All right, so this huge set is a mega suite called Lights Aglow, and this is what is on the front of the catalog. It's also on starting on page 30, and this is actually the one we're going to be using when we do our retreat on July 23rd. So let's start with, it's got two different stamp sets. This is the one we're going to be using the most of for our retreat, called Christmas Lights, and these are the twinkling lights that go with it. And as you can see, hopefully, so this one will cut out that. This one's completely separate, and you can see these little dots in here. This one is going to cut out little holes, so if you put something sparkly behind it, like what you can see underneath here, same for this one, just cuts out holes. And this is like a two-step little snowflake, so this will cut out the outside. And I haven't cut this yet. This looks like it cuts and embosses, so that looks like an overlay that then you would see that color from behind there and there. And then this is the other set that comes in the Mega Suite, which is Brightest Glow, and the label's aglow. So you can see that this is just more of the sentiments. And just a lot more of these little things that cut holes, but I don't think like these two just make the holes. They don't cut out. This one looks like it cuts out. That looks like a really nice label die that will fit on some of these, a lot of them. Yeah, so that'll fit on a lot of them. And then it has this really cool bigger label that will fit some of these other bigger ones. Oh my gosh, that's going to be a lot of fun. Okay, so now the next thing in this Mega Suite, this Lights Aglow Mega Suite, is that there are 3 different sets of papers. So this paper is called Lights Aglow, and it's 6 by 6. And these are all the different patterns. Look at that one. This one, obviously, you'd cut up and use different ones, stamp in them, etc. Looks like we've got very vanilla. Other colors in here, oh, that's a pretty one. Basic black, cherry cobbler, evening evergreen, soft succulent, and very vanilla. And you can see that these all have gold in them. They're so pretty. And when we do our retreat, you're going to get a half a pack of this paper. So basically you'll get 2 pages on each one of these. And the backs have some bouquet or bokeh, however you say it, and some small patterns. Going kind of quickly through them, I know. So pretty, so pretty. Okay, now remember I said that there were several different papers. So the next paper you're getting in here is the, oh, now I gotta find the name of it. I believe it's just glimmer paper, but I don't know if it has another name. Nope, just glimmer. And you get gold. And the nice thing about our glimmer paper is it doesn't come off on your hands. It's not, I mean, it's sparkly, but then it's not coming off on your hands. Hey, Doris. And we get this very vanilla one. Hopefully you can see how sparkly it is. And look at this evergreen one, evening evergreen. So pretty. And then we've got paper number 3, which is called Festive Foils Specialty Designer Series paper. And you can see it's all foiled. This one does not have anything on the back. Soft Succulent, Cherry Cobbler, and Gold. And you can see how all of these would just really play nicely together. Just so pretty. So pretty. All right. You can see why Peggy and I got so excited about that mega suite that we wanted to share it with everybody. Now this next one that I got pretty much most everything in the suite is the Rustic Harvest suite. And I thought I'd be using this one. Oops, I forgot 2 things from that last suite. One is the red and green. They're calling them red and green, but it's red, I believe the Cherry Cobbler, Soft Succulent, Silver, and Gold pearls. And then look at this beautiful, actually it even goes with this one. It's gold and vanilla satin edge ribbon. You can even see how you could easily cut it in half and get a skinny ribbon too. So all of that is in that mega suite. All right, back to Rustic Harvest. So this is the Rustic Harvest set. Hello Harvest and the Rustic Pumpkin dies. And you can see that some of these dies are going to cut out the pumpkin and the leaf and this pretty thing of flowers that you can put in the pumpkin or over the pumpkin. And then some of these are standalone dies. So for instance, this one is just going to cut and then emboss. I didn't have time to play with this ahead of time. And then you'll put that over it and have more of a 3D pumpkin there. And then we've got just some pretty swirly things. I think, yeah, this is probably, yeah, because this matches this. So I'm thinking this is the stem that matches that little pumpkin. Very cute. And then we have the Rustic Harvest Designer Series paper. And that colors in this are Basic Black, Cajun Craze, Crushed Curry, Early Espresso, Mary Merlot, and Mossy Meadow. So we've got the pumpkins. Well, there's your crushed curry. This is my favorite. Look at that paper. So again, you would probably just cut it in half and cut 2 or 3 inch strips and put a little sentiment, maybe a little ribbon, call it a day. So pretty. This one's got all your gourds for your fall. This is just a nice Cajun Craze backgroundy one. And same thing with the, what did I say this was? Mossy Meadow. And then if you flip them over, oh, that's kind of a surprise. They're black and white. There's a lot of black and white this year in this catalog, as well as in the annual catalog. Why? Because it's so versatile. I mean, you can color this with your pens, you could color it with your blends, you could leave it black and white, so you can make it go with anything. So I think that's why they're really enjoying the black and white. You have a couple others. This is actually the set that we're going to make a card with in a minute. So this is your Christmas Scottie stamp set and punch that goes with it. And with this one you can make any plaid you want, which is kind of fun. Some snowflakes, some swirlies, some things that are Christmassy and some that are not, so you can go either way. And then one of these, this one, you can also make a bow with. Now you'll see that there's several different Scotties and they don't all go in the punch. So there's just one, this one that goes in the punch, but the rest obviously you can play with. Oops, oh, I keep missing the things. We're going to come back to that Scotty one. This one goes with your Rustic Harvest, and we've got these little maple leaf tags and these beautiful amber, two different size gems here. This will be fun to play with. These will be really fun to make like place settings, you know, name tag kind of things. So if we have a big Thanksgiving dinner, we like to make little name tags for people. And then this is a little bit of a sneak peek for you for the celebration, because this Trees for Sale set is in the mini catalog with the little doggy and the little sign and the little string of lights. But the die set is actually in Celebration, and that, you know, adds in this cute little camper, some things that cuts out with what I just showed you with the dies. These ones you can layer over these other ones with the little doggy. I'm not quite sure what these little guys are for. I think maybe that's for your fire and wood. I don't know what that is. Maybe just a leaf. But this is 24 different dies from Celebration. You get this, you can get this free with a $100 order. In fact, that's the only way you can get it, is with a $100 order. So there's your first sneak peek for Celebration. I got a couple embossing folders that are, again, are a little bit hidden. First one is the Whimsical Woodland. Looks like that, but I actually embossed it for you so that you can see what it looks like. It kind of reminds me like of a Grinch kind of Christmassy thing. Maybe that's because I did it in the parakeet party, so it looks a little more caricature-ish. That's one of the brand new embossing folders. And then this other one is called Leaf Fall. And these are both 6x6, and they are both 3D embossing folders. So this is just more card size, but obviously you can, you know, use it for a whole 6x6. It would be pretty if you were into scrapbooking too. Hi Doris. Hi Ruth. I thought I'd quickly, that's why I was a little late getting on, a couple of minutes late, is because I wanted to show you what this really looked like. It's so hard to see until you emboss something with it. And then just a couple other miscellaneous things. This is a Stars treat bag. And it comes just like this. It's already put together. How big is this? This is about 5 by 3.5. So it's already put together. It's white, but you could, you know, if you want to put something behind it like that, or I guess if you put colored tissue paper in it, you'd be able to see that a lot better. Hang a little tag, or even, you know, put on a little handle. Be pretty with some of that gold glimmer paper behind it, wouldn't it? So I just thought those were kind of cute. And the other thing, this is for my friend Carol too, are these Santa Express Memories and More cards and envelopes. They do go with a Memories and More card set that have the 2 different size cards, so that you can just put the card on here and make some pretty cards. But this is 20 of these, and they're 2 different cards, and these are big cards. So these are 4 1/4. Makes you not want to even seal them up. And so you get 20 of these. I believe it's for $10. So watch for that. It's in the Santa Express suite. I don't have anything else from that suite. So if you have like a lot of holiday cards to make, that just makes it so much easier. All right, anybody want to make a card? I have to tell you, like I said, this is the only set that I've played with from the new catalog. And basically I just came home and said, I want to make a card from here for tonight. I don't want to use old stuff. I want to use new stuff. So here we go. And cut it out as I did here, or you and I used a whole bunch of the different stamps from that one set. So what do you guys think? You like? I'll hold it up a little bit so you can see it a little bit better. There we go. So let's get going. There's a lot of stuff we need to do to make this card. I got a lot of little pieces here. But the first thing I want to show you is how to stamp with this stamp. That is this one. Oh, I got some hearts. Thank you. This stamp, like I said, you can make any color plaid that you want. And so I basically used it two different ways. We have the black on red, and then we have red on white cardstock. So we got two different ways. Now, playing around with this, one thing I did notice, let me move this out of the way, is it was way easier to use this stamp set in your Stamparatus. So now when I use mine, I like to stick that under there. It just makes it easier to get to. So I just put this on by laying it down on here and then putting it on here, and then we will cut that out after we stamp it. And you'll see in a minute why I said you want to use your Stamparatus on it. So first we're going to do the red one. So there's your real red. And put it over. And I know some of you don't have a Stamparatus. I think it intimidates some people. But basically, it's great for these ones. You notice I didn't put the card all the way up into the corner because it gets hard to stamp. Well, actually, this one came out perfect. But on a lot of these other ones, and maybe we'll see it with the black. Let's clean it off, because we're going to stamp it on white with the black. Excuse me, on red with the black. Just try to clean it off a little bit. And again, I did it so I could put it on these lines and it would stamp well. And you want to use your magnets. Remember, when you use your magnets, don't put them both together because they're hard to pull apart. That's why mine have this little piece of duct tape on here. So if they get stuck together, they both have that, I can pull them apart. Now, see how that didn't work so well? I don't have to toss it now. All I have to do is come back here, put some more ink on here. And we can do this as many times as we want. And we'll always go in the exact same spot. Oh gosh, I just can't seem to get that. But again, you can try it again. If you weren't using your Stamparatus, you couldn't do that, right? I think I'm going to do it one more time. And I did stamp this okay using just a block, but remember, you know, this is a photopolymer set, so you would absolutely have to use your piercing mat. See how much more vibrant it gets? Okay. Now I want to take this off because we're done with this. gonna put you so that you don't stick on something. You won't believe where I just stuck that. And now we're gonna use our little dog, because I also found that our little dog was best used also by using it on here. So we're gonna just lay him down, push this down, whoops, and pick him up. Forgot to put this on here, so of course it moved. And then we're gonna use our black again. And you'll see why I went with the Stamparatus here. I really had an easier time, and maybe because it was new too. You know, your stamps kind of like to get roughed up a little bit. But see how it's not solid right now? Can you see that on the Scotty dog? Let's get him a little bit better. Because every time you do it, you're going to get something just slightly different. And see how much better that looks? Now you understand why I'm using the Stamparatus today. Okay, let's move it out of the way. And then I think we have a couple other things to stamp here. I'm going to stamp us a sentiment. And this is just, oops, no, that's too big. Where's my little sentiment pieces? There we go. These are just 3/4 of an inch. And our sentiment says, where'd it go? May your days be furry and bright. Nice, so that's ready. And then for my inside, I'm also going to use the black. I think this is my inside piece, yep. To stamp the Merry Christmas that comes with this set. And then I'm just doing all the stamping first. I think that's it for my black. And then for my red, we also have this cute little bow. Remember I showed you there were several bows on here, but this is the one that matches. Oops. And usually what I do, oops, I got a little bit of a smoosh on there, is I will stamp several of these and cut them out. I think I need them a little further apart so that whenever I want a little bow, that one wasn't so good. Plus it helps to do a few if you're not gonna get them perfect each time. All right, so the other thing is I'm gonna use this cute little, I don't know what you call it, swirly stamp that comes with the stamp set to make some swirls both on, this one is just 1/8 of an inch short from the same size as the as your card base. I just turned it upside down so I could make these meet. And we're going to do the same thing on the top part. Isn't this a cool little swirly? Just trying to overlap them here a little bit. This one, see, didn't overlap so well. I think it's going to get covered up a little bit by my inside, by my sentiment. And then this is just for our inside piece. All right, so I think we've done all our stamping. And once I'm done here, I will go put all the measurements and such on my blog, stampwithdrrobin.blogspot.com, so that you can find that. All right, so first thing is we want our little Scotty dog. And you want to kind of really look at the white parts about what's showing and not try to do that evenly. So now we have our doggy, and we have a little bow piece that we can stamp later. And then we can also, oh, there it is, do our little bow pieces. Whoops, other way. I think I'm just going to pick the best one. You can see I put those other ones a little too close together. See, then I can just slide this through and get another bow and just save that for next time. Okay, so we got a bow and a spare. One for now, one for next time. So remember this little piece that we stamped here? We are going to cut that out with one of the little squares from the stylish shapes. So this one has double stitch squares and circles, and we're going to use the middle square there. And where's my little baby embossing? Oh, here it is. I was going to say, I thought I got it out and ready to use. I think that'll work. Oops, that's a little too big. So we will just go like this. I just thought that would be easier than using the big one. Get it on the good spot here. Remember to make these so that they don't completely sit even at the edge, and it will cut better for you. And there we have a little square that we did out of our cute little plaid. I just love that little plaid. I think he's so adorable. Hey, Judy. Hey, Carol, you found me. Yay. All right, I think we're ready to put it all together. If I'm not mistaken, here's another square that I just cut out of the white. All right, so we are going to start with our 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. We're going to fold it in half, making sure the edges are nice. Use our bone folder to make sure that's laying down nicely, and it needs a little bit more. There we go. All right, so remember this piece I said was just 1/8 of an inch smaller. This is real red, in case I didn't say it. I like to have a separate piece like this, and you could actually even pop this up a little bit if you wanted to, but I had popped up a lot already. I just don't like stamping right on the card, because if you make a mistake, it's kind of more of a pain. And this one is that same size as here, only it is 2 3/4. And this is that gingham cottage that I showed you that comes in that really huge pack. Gosh, I hope that's even. Maybe you can come down a little bit. Nope, it's not moving. It wants to stay here. Here was our little inside piece. I just think these Scotty dogs are adorable. Okay, so we've got, oh, what happened to our, oh, we forgot one. Remember this piece? We forgot to cut a little Scotty dog out of it. It's like, where's my other doggy? And we also get a really cute little bow, again, to use on something else later. All right, so this doggy we're gonna mount on this square, and this doggy we're gonna mount on this square. And I think with these, I'm going to just glue these down. Because we're going to pop up the squares themselves. I'm just going to put them next to each other so I can make sure that they are going to be about the same height, these little guys. Okay, so this guy is going to get a little red bow. This guy is going to get one of those little black and white gingham bows. So this is gingham, from the gingham ribbon that is from, we got some little hearts. Loving the hearts, guys. Thank you. We got gingham galore on this card. We've got gingham stamped, we've got gingham paper, we've got gingham bows. So I suppose if you don't like gingham, what's wrong with you? No, you may not get so excited about these little Scotty dogs as I seem to have been. I know my mom loves Scotty dogs. Now, we never had a Scotty dog. We had all sorts of other dogs, so it's interesting that I know she loves them so much. So, kind of thinking of you, Mom, while I was making this card. Get a little glue dot on here. There we go. And then I'm going to get some dimensionals. Remember I said I'm going to pop these guys up on dimensionals. And I think on my other card, I actually popped up that, this piece also, the red one. Sorry about that. I guess let's do them both at the same time. Let's first just make sure our spacing is going to be good. I'm trying to follow these lines. I thought that would probably help me get it straight. What do you guys think? Are you in love with this Scotty dog yet? Thank you, Kay. All right, let's bring back our little sentiment here. I'm going to pop him up on a couple dimensionals. Is it a him? Her? I don't know. Maybe, probably sentiments don't have a sex. And remember I said, oops, that didn't quite match, but I figured it would be covered, and guess what? It's going to be covered. Now I also decided, you probably didn't notice this, but I decided this little Scotty dog needed a little eye. So I took my little classic matte dots and I gave him an eye approximately same places where the other guy has an eye. I thought he probably would want to see what's going on here. All right, that is our little Scotty dog, Christmas Scottie. And I just think he's so adorable. This is the other one. Remember I said I popped this one up, so you can do it either way. But I think this is so cute. And I think you guys are going to love this new catalog. Hopefully, I'm going to put you back up here so I can talk to you a little bit more. But hopefully you're going to love this as much as I do. There are so many really cute sets. There's a whole bunch more fall sets that I didn't get. Can't buy everything first time around. And there's lots more Christmas sets and a whole bunch of, I think there's about 5 Halloween sets also. So something for everybody. And hopefully you guys are going to enjoy it. If you're one of my regular customers, if you've ordered from me in the last 6 months, I will be getting you one. If you haven't and you're not working with a demonstrator already, just put a little note in here with your email address, or email me at stampwithrobin@gmail.com, and I'd be happy to send you one. But love it, love it, love it. And I will see you again next week, back at our regular time, 1 o'clock Pacific Standard Time on Monday. Take care, bye.